I'm going to make a new part for my liquid cooling holder. Since I did not attach them straight, both of these tended to break off. I'm going to create a new piece of this plastic part, and I'm going to use my 3D printer to print the part. And the next thing that I will do, I will teach you how to create such a part in 3D. And the first thing that we will start with is we will actually make a flat SVG model, which we will then convert to a 3D model, to a STL model. Are going to do, I took a picture from exactly from the top side of the part, and the next thing that you want to do, you want to make a sort of shape around the part, so you can create an SVG model from it and then extract it to the 3D model itself. So the first thing that you want to be doing, use a vector program, which is the best for making SVG models, but you could also use Photoshop and just create a black layer, then export it to the right size. We're going to create a new file, and we will use the measurements of the product itself, which in this case is, let me see, it is 5.5 centimeters. So we're going to put in the width 55 millimeters, my bad, and the height is, let me see, it is 4.8, so 48 millimeters. And we're going to create a file, and the next thing that we're going to do, we are going to add in a picture, a photo from the exact top side of the product that you want to make a replacement part for. Use the image, and then I'm going to drag it down. Hold shift to make sure it does not change the real size of the product. So basically you just hold shift and then you drag it until it is all the way correctly inside of the box, which is something like this. Now we have the image ready, and we do need to create another side for this one. So I'm going to use my pen tool in Adobe, which is really simple to use. Just press, drag it how you want it, and if you want the endpoint to remove, you just press on it again, like that. And we need two separate parts because we're going to duplicate this one. So we're going to put it down there, down there, down there. Let me see, it was around here. Then I'm going to make them slightly thicker than they were before, so they will not break this time. Next thing, I want the pen selection tool. Should have taken this tool. Anyways, we're gonna make it slightly bigger than our last one, so like this. So now we have the one side of the part that we want to recreate. So I'm going to duplicate it. Right click, transform, and mirror the item. So we're going to do that vertical, like this. And then to make sure that it actually does fill, I'm going to pull it slightly more inward. Okay, so now we do have this part, but the edges are a little bit too sharp if you ask me. So we're going to add some pads, some more pads, so we can customize the corners a little bit more, so they will not break off. And there we go. Break the edges. And the next thing that I want to do, I want to duplicate this part. Mirror the item, vertical. So as you can see, it is slightly different than the one before. So I'm going to try and see if I group this item, delete the background. And the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to create it, make it black. Pathfinder, if you go to window, and then you go to Pathfinder, in order to merge both of your designs to one, you can select them both. In my case, it is with Command A on a Mac, but you could also do Control A on a Windows PC. Now the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to merge both of them, which is the middle middle one of this. So as you can see now, we do have a single solo vector item which we are going to print. So I'm going to save my file as an SVG. So I'm going to call it bracket SVG. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I have now created my SVG bracket file, as you guys can see. Save that as bracket to my desktop. Alright. To make this SVG a 3D model, there's a lot of websites on Google, on the internet, where you can actually convert SVG to STL, which are printable 3D models. I prefer to use AnyConv because I have had the best experience converting my SVG files through their platform. Let me see, the bracket.svg. We're going to convert it, and once it is converted, we can open the file inside Ultimaker Cura Ultimaker. So we're going to download the STL. We're going to save the bracket liquid holder. Once it is saved, now we can go to Ultimaker Cura, and inside Cura we're going to import the SVL SVG bracket. So now we have the design, the final design. We have it inside Ultimaker Cura, which is the program to convert STL to Gcode, so they can actually be printed with a 3D printer. And now we're going to customize this one because we did have the measurements of the file. What we want to do, I want to make sure it is only let me turn off uniform scaling, because it will scale the whole part in one, which we do not want to happen. So we're going to set it to 10 millimeters, which is 1 centimeter in thickness. I think this one is around, let me see, where is my measurement tape? Oh, it's here. It is here. So the thickness of this one is 1.1 centimeters, so 10 millimeters, 1 centimeter will be fine for this product. In the designs, I'm going to check which measurements I used. We're going to create a new file so we can find our old measurements back, which was 5548. Now what we're going to do, 5548, so 55 was the width and 48 was the height. We do have a new bracket which we can try to print, and you always do have to trial and error with the products that you actually do create. Let's go slice it up. First we're going to slice it. Let me grab my USB. Place these parts on the top side, save to my desktop. The next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to my 3D models. I'm going to import the Gcode. So let's go and print it. Bracket liquidity holder, liquid holder. My new part. Let me slightly pull it up or twist it. So this is the new part that I'm going to use. Now let's compare it to the old part, and it is slightly smaller, but I'm going to see if the tube will actually fit in if the bracket will actually fit on the tube. So let's go and let's hope for the best. And as you guys can see, it snapped off directly, which means I need to print it slightly wider. So we're going to do that again, and hopefully this time it will not break off. The width between the two arms was slightly too less, we need to make it a little bit more wider. Now what we can do, we could make a new 3D SVG model, but we can also, in this case, try and expand the current model in the width slightly. So I'm going to print one of 57 millimeters. So let's import another one. Let's turn it around. Change the size. It was 59 this time. And if I'm right, 45, 48, 48. I mean 10 millimeters. So now that we have those, brackets are done. As you can see, they are not filled for a full 100%, but there are some holes inside them, so they probably will be pretty weak. Let's see if these ones won't break, or at least let's hope they will fit on my cooler. So they do actually fit. As you can see, this one is stuck now to my cooler element. As you can see, there's like, I think 1 millimeter on each side, or maybe 1 or 2 millimeters on each side extra. And if I do put this design, I mean if I do put the other bracket on it, it almost looks like it has the same measurement. So basically what this green stuff used to look like is this. It's the same thing. It has a black light around the inner circle of the frame with the border, but for some reason this green UV material, it died within 24 hours. If you do know a place where I can buy good UV cooling water which does not decay within a day, please contact me, because I really would like to buy some decent UV cooling water.